So let me just tell you how this went. I caught myself in a conundrum, in a situation where I was compromised, and I thought I was recording the thing, but it turns out GoPro had a different idea about the situation. It got stuck after dark. Now that I've had a day or two to ruminate on it, and just get your thoughts in the comment section below. I do have most of the audio from the flight. What happened was, I took an evening flight, and I went a little earlier than the students. Some of them weren't even at the field yet. I took off, and it was very turbulent, very windy aloft. I mean, like 40 out of 2,000 feet. But it was supposed to lay down smooth out, and I expected that I would have somewhat of a good situation, to do a flight at around sunset. So I made sure I had enough fuel to go to at least sunset, and it was the last warm day forecasted for the year, in the short term anyway. It's supposed to cool off. We had record highs like 80 degrees, t-shirt weather, like a nice steady wind out of the southwest. And so I just thought, I'm gonna capitalize on this and do like just a long fun flight right there at the field. And it was great. I pushed myself right till sunset, turned on the strobe, kept flying. Actually, I landed when the students, just to let them know that, hey, things are smoothing out. It's looking much safer than it was. And then I even asked Nate, I said, like, how much fuel do you see in there? I didn't even unclip. He said, oh, at least a liter. Like, it looks like you got a liter. And I thought, well, that'll be enough to get me to legal time, 30 minutes after sunset with the aid of a strobe, which is what Part 103 allows. When I was getting ready to take off, the conditions had switched on the surface from being reversible to not reversible, forward only. And so I had to unclip. I cranked my motor, and my motor, it died like suddenly, like a couple of times. Like clearly it sounded electrical. Thought, did I bump the kill switch? It was just quick in the field kind of thing. I took like a whole 10 seconds to kind of inspect the thing and kind of wiggle the wires. Put the motor back on, cranked it, took back off, and everything was like, it was a good flight again. Like, it was even better when I took back off. I had the strobe on. I'm gonna milk the sky for the last minute that I could. Looked at the clock, we're at our last minute. I better land to keep it legal. I'm usually by the book. Quite often I'm by the book. 2 nights ago was a little different. Like, I had to make some tough choices based on the legality versus safety of flight and what was going on. Hit the kill switch, no joy. Kill switch didn't work. I'm like, And rarely is it the switch. It's usually the wires back there. And so something's wrong. I still haven't looked at it. It's in the camper here. It's going to be a rainy day today. I'll probably pull it out and see what's going on. But there was another factor involved. The motor was not set exactly to idle. I just done a carburetor rebuild on it, retuned the carb, and it was a bit warmer when I did that. And everything was idling properly, maybe ever so slightly high. But since the air got kind of cool and dense and dry, things were humming. And this motor at the lowest power setting, idle, was not really idling. It was actually turning the propeller and thrusting. And you can kind of hear it on the video. I've not even looked at all the footage yet. What happened with the video was the GoPro kinked up at some point during the flight, before the first landing. What happened was the video is just a freeze frame of a picture of the runway. And that's the majority of the video. Like, the whole tail end of the video is just this picture from like earlier in the flight, but it still recorded the audio with that image. I don't know what's going on. Again, that's right over Kylo's head. The ghost in the machine showed up, and of course it's one of the more exciting flights that I've had, because I had to do the quick thought of, do I land with this thing thrusting under power without the ability to kill it? Now, if it was just idling, it would have been a no-brainer. I would have just landed, taken the machine off, pulled the plug wire, all would have been well. But the fact that this thing has some thrust to it, like if I botched the landing at all, or if I fell over, if the wing came down funny, like it could have been like a terrible parablending situation. Again, the motor was under thrust at idle, and so I was in this conundrum. Like, should I try to land? And I actually went for it a time or two. You might could even hear that in the audio. I'm going to play you the audio on this video. This is not a good video. I'll give you that right now, but I'm going to take the audio clips that were in there and just show them to you for what they are. And then I did a vlog at the end with this camera that like in the heat of the moment, what happened. I'm going to explain it again, basically. But I wanted you to know what you're watching in this video. It's not actually a video. It's more of the audio of what happened during this situation. The dog wants to play Frisbee. You're crazy. Let me see it. Let me see it. Drop it. Okay, go get it. making a video here. But that's just the video. The camera broke. I got basically stuck, and I ended up flying for around 40 minutes after legal landing time. And I know I'm admitting that on the internet right here, right now. Technically, it was a violation. I mean, it was, but in the interest of safety, I really didn't have much of a choice. I wanted to run the motor completely out of gas so that I didn't have to land under any sort of power setting. And more or less, I was just stuck. I was in like a spot between making two decisions. One was probably worse than the other one. You know, one would have been legal and sort of dangerous, and one would have been illegal and much, much safer. And so that's where I was at. I was in this, and I chose the latter, to run the thing out of gas. I thought I would run out much sooner. I really only thought I had about 10 minutes left, and I wouldn't be pushing the issue very far. But the thing ended up running for like 40 minutes longer than I thought. That was this flight. What would you have done in this situation? And it's on the video. I might have said something. I was reaching back trying to kill the motor with pinching the fuel line. I couldn't get to the primer bulb, but also couldn't see very well because it was dark at this point. And so I wanted to maintain my visual reference. I had a lighted airport underneath me, so that really helps as far as safety. I wasn't landing in some random darkened area. Like, the whole airport was lit up. I knew the obstructions. I had students on the ground. Oh, the other thing, my phone quit working. Like, cellular, it gone. It gone. There's a ghost in that one too, apparently. All my electronics just... That's what they do. They break. Okay, enough rambling. Let's watch the video. We made some terrible content. I'm in. Maybe this thing will work. Maybe this thing will work.
Wrong.
I think this glider might have been a little bit wet last it was flown. Yesterday or this morning, I can't remember. Yesterday, I think. And I just wanted to pull it out again to air it. We got a strong wind condition aloft, but it's moderately strong on the surface. Got a motor with some gasoline in it. I'm just gonna do a climb and just see if I can find the smooth air. Might do some Ferris wheels, a little red hot chili peppers, set the mood properly. Looks like it might hold together for at least one more takeoff. It's the last of the day. Maybe I won't get cold up there. We're currently at the beginning of November. And at the beginning of November, we're nearing the record highest temperatures that we've ever experienced during these usual days. We've already had some freezing temperatures. Our first freeze has happened, but it was just a fake winter as usual around here. And we're back up into the low 80s, the second week of November. But they're saying this is the end. I'm gonna clip in reverse. Usually if it's strong enough to reverse inland, it's usually just kind of strong and not great. All right, clear on the fourth one. 2, 3, 4. There it is. All right. See y'all up there. Climbing real high is the move tonight because the winds aloft are supposed to just be ever increasing. But it's just a gradient. It's just a gradient all the way up. I feel it right now. I'm penetrating a little better as I go through these bumps. I went through them on the way up. Before I get too low though, I'm gonna turn with them. It's not optimal to turn with the turbulence, but I want to give myself room. Maybe I get down, ride the last thermals off the corner of this field here. Maybe. This is where the birds go to catch it. See, the sun's still shining down there. It's still heating some of that air. There's winds blowing aloft. There's a mixture of thermal turbulence and then the evening gradient. It's just pretty wacky. But I am down here on the back side of the field, kind of near approach into the runway. Everything's working out good. No deer hunting over here today. I don't see the guy's truck. Yeah, how about this big Bodie B-wing tandem glider? It's a 32 size tandem wing. I use it for big boys, teach them how to fly. It's easy to fly. It's a B-rated wing. Risers are kind of stumpy because it's a tandem. Sorry for the boring ass vlog, y'all. I'm just doing a little pattern down here at the end of the field. And now I'm to the fence. shit, I think I'm gonna go back low again. It's just kind of sucky sitting in the turbulence, just doing nothing but sitting in the turbulence. There's a little bit of turbulence down low, but it's much more suppressed than it is up here. It's just not the perfect night for flying by any means. I'm able to do a flight safely, but I wouldn't send a student up into this dumb shit, bouncing around like this. Look, I'm not doing anything. You see my legs swinging? It's nothing that I'm alarmed about, but I'm not everybody. And most people will be alarmed about the level of turbulence you feel climbing from 8 miles an hour into a 30 mile an hour with thermals mixed in it. Yeah, although they be at the evening thermals, the air's real dry. It's real dry, so it's real punchy. As you can see, from this moment forward, the video just hangs on this image, and the rest of the video is just this image. So I'm going to edit in the pertinent audio, and I'm sorry, this is what you get. Super punchy. Sometimes you get kind of bored of the same old places, and you'll do weird stuff like this. So obviously, without the video, the audio makes almost no sense just looking at this picture. So there's almost an hour of actual audio left on this video image. So I'm just going to fast forward to where I do my landing right after the sunset and maybe see what's there. But the majority of this stuff just makes no sense in reference to the image you're seeing. I'm describing things that I'm looking at. Again, it's just a terrible video without the actual image moving and matching the audio. Or you'll stage your bicycle at somebody's house and then fly to it, land there. Hey! Come on, come on, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why is it going to do that? Hey, it's pretty good up there, but only so far. There's a rowdy place. Above it, I'm just parked. I can't go anywhere. But below it, I'm just kind of floating around. Hey, is there any gas in this thing? Okay, about a liter. Okay, that's enough. Hey, I don't need a precise measurement. Does it look like I'm going to run out?
I mean, you got that much.
Okay, that's enough. I'm going to go back up, Nate. Turn on the strobe. Enjoy it. Man, you got the best part of it, though. It was shitty earlier. I went up. It was just stupid. It just got good a few minutes ago. I've been down by the highway flying around. Is it going to be a reverse? I think it might be a reverse attempt. It's a light wind reverse. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that wasn't good. Shit. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it the right way. But I still can do it without too much thought, without taking the motor off. Got to tie my shoe, and now just do a forward clip in. Evening exercise is completed. Yeah. Oh no, that didn't sound good at all. Like a spark plug fell out or something. Huh. I don't exactly know. It's died down to nothing just about, though. I know that. Is it still recording? It is, but probably not for too much longer. So after sunset, I got a strobe. I'm going to put on my clear glasses. I don't know, mine might not even crank. It made a sad death sound, and then it didn't relight immediately. Something weird's going on. Check the fuel line. I mean, it appears to be primed pretty good. It looks like the, it's short in the kill wire, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. It sounded like it just turned off. Okay. The final try, guys. Here we go. Strobe light engaged. Clip. Okay, it lit. No. It tried to go dead again. I wonder if it's fuel starvation. I do have a lowish tank. Okay, here we go. Woo-hoo. We're gonna let the sun go down on this one, I'm afraid. Probably the camera won't last until the end of the night. And if it does not, well, I'd like to wish you a so long and happy times and warm skies and all that jazz. It's probably already turned off. It's probably gone. Why do I even talk to myself? It reminds me of the first video made. I always feel so stupid, jibber jabbering into the nothingness of the world here. There's only about two things I like better than turning gasoline into altitude, and we can't talk about those on the internet these days. That's more of a late 90s thing. I don't want to stare up too much now that I'm low. You shouldn't stare anywhere. If you're a good pilot, you're looking around at everything all the time. And if you catch yourself staring at anything, you're doing it wrong. So there's that. Let's see, sunset is at 5:18. I'm just curious about the minutes here. 5:38, so we got another 10 minutes, right? So we got another 10 minutes or so. 10 minutes exactly. Probably 9 minutes now that I've been talking about it. Oh hell, my kill switch is broken. I did wiggle the wire a little bit, but it's also thrusting a little bit, so I better make this landing count. Ooh. I guess I could run it out of gas. Shit. I don't know where that video actually stopped, but I'm standing out here by the light of the windsock. It doesn't look that bright in real life, but neither does anything. So I had a very strange situation occur. I don't know how much of it was on the camera. The reason the motor was stuttering around was I wiggled the kill switch wire, and that allowed the motor to crank, but that's why I was examining the wire to see what had made the motor stop sparking. Plug boot was on, I wiggled that. I wiggled the spark plug the kill switch wire just a few places, like under some zip ties and things where it was secured, or I thought it was secured. Well, ultimately it came apart somewhere. The button has failed, and the button, it's not usually the button, it's usually the wire down at the back of the machine somewhere. I flew until legal time, and then it was like, I'm gonna kill it, but I couldn't kill it. And also the motor was under power, like the carburation. I just rebuilt the carburetor 2 flights ago, and then the air got a lot cooler and denser, and so it was humming at idle. It was like, blah, blah, like it was pushing, and I didn't want to risk a botched landing not be able to kill the thrust on the motor. And so I opted to just let the fuel run out. And I thought that I only had just a few minutes of fuel, but the thing ran for about a half hour after I was supposed to have landed. And there was really much I could do about it. I couldn't kill it, and I couldn't take the adverse risk of landing. And so here I am standing out here in the dark. I did just a dark landing. I tried pinching the fuel line. I was able to pinch it for a great deal, but in the position I was in to pinch the fuel line, I couldn't see the descent. Like I've had it idle and I'm trying to kill it with the fuel line, but I can't see how low I am to the ground. I want to crash into the dang whatever because I wasn't looking. And if I'm leaning back and looking up at the wing, I can't see the world below me. So I kind of scratched that idea, and if I climb too far, the winds aloft are strong, and I was just getting pushed back. And so I just hovered, and I was shooting in and out of the field, and ultimately it did run out of gas, and I thought it would be much sooner than it was. But it's a warm night, and there's no traffic, high visibility. The winds are very smooth, even if they were strong. So I didn't feel like scared or anything, But that's what happened. That's what happened on that flight, and I hope you got to see at least part of it on the video. Such a lame, easy evening flight that I thought was going to be stupid turned into actually a pretty amazing, fun time. And now I take the motor home, put it on the operating table, see what's going on with it. But I just thought I would stop and offer you an explanation about what just happened on that flight, since definitely the GoPro was off when I landed, because I was up there way longer than the battery lasts on the GoPro. So I think I said my goodbyes while I was in flight, and I'm gonna say them again right now. So thank you for watching. Try to do better than I do, I guess. I Talk to y'all real soon. Next one. Much love. Kyle out.